Spotify has just announced a new set of policies to help deal with AI-generated content, including banning deepfakes and AI impersonations. Part of this is an effort to combat AI slop, and Spotify says it has removed over 75 million tracks in the past year that it thinks qualify. But to be clear, they aren't banning AI music, and frankly, they're not even reliably requiring it to be labeled. And Spotify is not the organization I'd trust to do this in any case, as they have engaged in so many shady practices over the years that I just refuse to use their streaming platform. Do a quick Google search into that if you want to see some examples, but I don't have time to go into them now because what I really want to talk about is AI labeling in general. Part of the problem is that there are lots of ways to use AI when creating something, some of them legitimate and some of them not. A great musical example is the Beatles' Now and Then track that used AI to rescue and reconstitute John Lennon's voice from an old demo tape. And in fact, the wonderful Beatles Get Back documentary just wouldn't have had the same impact without its generous use of AI to improve sound and image quality. But at the other end of the spectrum, there are abominations like the fake band The Velvet Sundown that I covered in a previous The Other Mac, who are entirely AI-generated and also terrible. Two things that go together more often than not. The streaming platform Deezer has actually developed a tool to detect AI music, and they found around 20% of the songs uploaded to their platform, almost 30,000 tracks a day, were AI-generated, and that much of it was essentially audio spam. So this is definitely becoming a problem. Another example, if you watch much YouTube, you've probably noticed how many videos seem to be partially or maybe even entirely put together with AI. And this doesn't necessarily mean AI images and video. Rather, in a lot of cases, it's what sounds like AI-generated scripts read by AI voices over non-AI video that's been poorly cobbled together by AI from a variety of sources. I noticed this with an increasing amount of travel videos and music videos especially, one recent example being a great rock band's YouTube video that pronounced the band INXS's name as INXS, then INXS, and then some weird amalgam of the two, which is something that no human is ever going to do, or certainly not in the space of a minute at least. YouTube has admitted that it's used AI to alter people's videos without telling them, and has brought generative AI features to its creator tools, all the while claiming it's working on weeding out AI slop. And while YouTube requires generative AI content to be labeled, it doesn't seem to do much of anything to enforce that rule, like far too many rules we have around these days. But YouTube is not alone. Meta just launched a new Vibes feed in the Meta AI app that is entirely and intentionally all AI-generated videos, something I just can't understand the value proposition for. So what can we do about this? Unfortunately, it's pretty difficult to reliably identify some types of AI content, and as noted above, it can be a bit of a continuum where using an AI tool at one particular stage of your creative process may or may not contribute to the slop, so it's hard to tell where to draw the line. Realistically, the sleazy creators who profit off AI slop, and frankly, the platforms that let them, don't have any real impetus to change their current behavior. So the only workable solution I can see is maybe something like community notes in X, where platforms essentially crowdsource AI content identification. This would be far from perfect, but something needs to be done, and soon, because it won't be before too long that many people just don't care anymore because they've become completely desensitized to it. And that's just what the makers and the platforms that embrace AI slop are hoping for. I'm The Other Mac. Let's keep it real out there, eh?